Lagos. Kike.
I can't really tell who came earlier, but then it's a very remarkable trait of a good speaker when you arrive at your event speaking engagement very early. And I really applaud you for that. Alright, so without wasting too much of our time, it's my singular honor to welcome on stage a very lovely person, an amazing speaker, all the way from the Lagos State University, a professor of artificial intelligence and robotics, stroke pioneer director of AI Unipod. So when she comes up here, I'm pretty sure she'll tell us more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please join me as I make welcome the very Dr. Chika Yinka Bajo. Please celebrate as she comes. That is Professor, celebrate out for me. Dr. Chika is here. Dr. Chika, God bless you. Thank you for coming on time and thank you for being here. Good luck.
I don't want to waste so much time already because we have wasted a lot. Because I've been sitting here doing tea break, going round, and I don't know when we will finish here today. So, I noticed the first speaker really touched a lot. I was listening to him keenly when he was talking about how they have been doing a lot in the space of energy, going into the rural sector. And now we want to see how do we add Industry 4.0 to this. Industry 4.0 is one thing that has changed our lives in every area of every sector, not every area, every sector in the world. Okay, so I'm going to look at this in this form. So I'm going to talk about Africa's industrial asset chains. Why do we really need to go into this space? I will say that we really need to do this because we have already lost $50 billion annually to unplanned downtime. We have 70% of industrial assets and they are aging when it comes to our facility change. You see why I don't want you to be doing this? You would know when I've moved since. Yeah, so this is where I am now. So we have 70% of industrial assets are aging or failing. This is why we need to move fast in this space. We have 3% of global manufacturing output, Africa's share. And we have 18 months delay to source replacement parts. Now, when we are doing something in adoption, we are in less than 1% in Africa. We have not adopted robotics or using robots to solve problems in Africa. We are about less than 1% in that space. We have 31% growth in global robot installations. That's from 2021. And we have about 2.5 million operational industrial robots globally. Now, if we have about 3.5 globally, where are we in the industry? So the paradox here is that Africa cannot afford to ignore that the reality today, we have Africa has 30% of world's national resources. There is good news because we have our own strength and we want to see how can we use Industry 4.0 to harness our strength to be able to be more productive in what is happening in our continent, not in the Western continent. So we want to see, Africa has 30% of world's natural resources, yet contributes only 3% of global manufacturing output. We have resources, but the output that we are projecting outside is about 3%. So 70 to 80% of industrial machinery on the continent is aging, and unplanned downtime costs, which we have mentioned. But the good news is that there are opportunities. Where there are challenges, there are opportunities. The opportunities here is that Africa's projected manufacturing output by 2030 is going to be about $1.7 trillion. We have these nations aligned under the African Continental Free Trade Zone. The one that is going to bring all Africa together is going to help us. We are going to have all the nations in Africa, that is 54 nations, so let's say we have something that we are producing in Nigeria and we take it to this, our union, we are going to have what? 54 countries assess that, and that is what? Increase for any nation that has that. Then we have working age Africans, world's youngest workforce for 2035. You know that Africa has the youth. Majority of our strength in this continent is our youth. So we have about 600 M+ youths that can help us harness what we need to move to the next level. We also have a cost reduction possibility with AI-driven maintenance. This is for Africa. Now, why are we talking about 4.0? Industry 4.0 is what has changed the way we have been doing things in the past. So we know when we started Industry 1.0, Industry 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. So the topic given to me is how we can use 4.0 to harness and actually build our automation in the industry. Now, when you hear about industry, what it means is that this is what will have been happening in the industry sector, no matter whether it's biological, whether it's physical, whether it's mechanical, that is industry. So in Industry 1.0, we have the steam engine replaces manual work. We stopped using, the way we generate electricity in those days. If you remember your social studies, you know that when you hit two stones together, light comes on. But things change. Steam engine took over the mechanical way of doing things. We have Industry 2.0, where electricity became ubiquitous in the world. Then we have Industry 3.0, where we have automation, and that is what we are talking here. Automation, automation, automation. Now, what happened in 3.0 was what's going on in the industry turned into using digital means to assess them. That was when the system came alive. That's when we can use computer to do things. And what do we do with computer? Why it's called automation is because we call it digital age. If you can remember, in those days, typewriter used to be in vogue. And when it got to that stage, typewriter was eliminated. And yeah, you can see them in the museum if you want to go and have a look at them. Maybe Gen Alphas won't understand what typewriters are meant for, because they were not here. But I know what it means because my mom was a typist in those days. Now, they eliminated that, and computer came, and people were scared of the change of computer coming, and that was what happened. Automation, big computer reduced all to the level of laptop, desktop. Then we moved to 4.0. Something significant happened in that era. That was what revolutionized the world. And who can tell me? I think we should be a little bit interactive. Who can tell me what made 4.0 significant in our lives up to this moment? Industry 4.0. 4.0. I will ask you now, you came with me. Who can tell me? Yeah, just speak out. Just speak out. What is it? Just for us. What did you say? Yeah, no, just say from there. AI 4.0. Thank you so much. You're the owner of this program. Yes, in the internet revolutionized the world, and that is why I can be here talking and some people can be watching me at the same time. So it came and we now have 4.0. Now 4.0 did not just come alone, it came with other things. And that is why they said, what is going on? They will say, give us the trend. What are the trends? What are the technology trends happening? It came with a lot. And the one you mentioned is just one out of all that it came with. So you can say it again, sir. When I say you should say it again, you will say, I hammered you when I came on top. Yes, so AI. AI is one out of a lot that came with 4.0. Now, what made everything possible was because we were not doing things the way we weren't doing it before. I can stay here, take selfie. If data became ubiquitous, everybody's generating data every single second. As I'm even speaking to you, I'm generating data. What type of data am I generating? Because we are using all of these things. What type of data am I generating? What type of data? Voice data. Now there is voice data, there is video data, there is values, there is numbers, there is text. The one that you are using for LLMs, a lot of data is being generated. As you give birth to children, they come out, they will be touching phone and generating their gibberish tongues. Everybody is generating data. So Google has been taking our data freely, and we are happy because we are not paying. So we are using their facilities. So that is why you can see AI, IoT, that is Internet of Things, big data, and cyber-physical system. A lot of things came. This is not all. There are lots. You can name them. Who can name one more thing that came with, apart from this? Okay. So that's 4.0. And if you notice, the year that it came is old. It has not been, that is not early. It's not current. We are supposed to have left this era now, but we can't. You know why we can't? Because that internet that brought it is still what we are doing right now is building on top of 4.0. So we have 5.0. We are even heading to 6.0. I'm in the academic industry. So I will understand when we are moving to new era, new revolution coming up into this space. Now we have 5.0. 5.0 says, oh, we have now human-centric. Now that 4.0 that came that brought AI, brought Internet of Things, big data, augmented reality, virtual reality. They helped us in doing things. Virtual reality, I can be here and be in another place at the same time, but I'm not a spirit. So all these things are helping us build I can be teaching here and be teaching other people in another country. So things changed. Now, we now said, okay, after we have gotten all of this, how are we going to manage it? That is 5.0. 5.0 is the one that is human-centric. Technology serves human values and sustainability. I heard someone saying sustainability earlier. The sustainability here is that all the things we are building, how is it going to affect us? I always give this example. 2021, I was diagnosed of having occasional asthma. And I didn't know I was asthmatic until then. Then I was wondering why. They told me that it is because of the, what do they call it, climate action. Now, climate action is that we have been building things and it has been clogging the environment. So because of that, things can happen. So they told me my own was pollen grain in the air. A lot of pollen grains are coming up. Sometimes some things I can perceive can trigger it. And sometimes I won't see throughout the year. I'll just be buying inhaler for nothing. So because of that, a lot of things have changed. So what we now have is sustainability. How do we sustain what we are building? And that is Industry 5.0. Now the 6.0 that is coming is cognitive. We are not yet there. It has been, why we know that it's coming, because we're in the academics and we see people writing papers in that line that is coming up, but we have not even fully scratched the surface of 6.0. We are really working on 5.0 and we are referencing 4.0. Now, so this program that says 4.0, yeah, thank you. So these are the core technologies that came. I couldn't mention all of them. So digital twin, augmented reality, robotics, cloud and edge, AI, industrial Internet of Things. So Internet of Things came, but you see we built on top of it and we have industrial Internet of Things. And that is what affects what we are doing today. So with all of this, you can know, that will help us to know that there are three major things that we need to do a reliability in this space of automation. We have the AI, which is the brain, that helps us to do predictive maintenance. When I went to the showcasing room, I saw somebody design a predictive software, and I saw that they have an equipment. I don't know the particular prediction that that particular machine is doing, but predictive is that it tells you what is supposed to come by using what the data given to it, and that is majorly what AI does. AI breathes and lives on data. Then we have Internet of Everything, which is like the nervous system when it comes to dealing with the industrial products, like the kind of thing we are doing here today. And we have the big data analytics, which is like the memory, where we're doing pattern recognition. How do we analyze the kind of data that we are getting from these our machines? How do we monitor these machines? How do we predict when the machine is bad? How do we predict when to go and do maintenance? This is what will help. So lessons that we have learned from the big industries. So what works and what doesn't work. Now, so we have seen even some in African nations. We have South Africa. South Africa has implemented a lot in the manufacturing sector. And I know that this is also one of the things we are dealing with here, this implementation of IoT sensors across assembly line. What is their outcome? 20% downtime reduction. It has improved their product. And the key lesson here is that start with pilot projects and integrate cybersecurity from day one. So what this means, cybersecurity is one thing that came also in the fourth industrial revolution. Because everything has gone virtual, you also need to check security virtually. So that's why you see cyber security. You're checking what's going on in the cyberspace. There's no more thieves, physical stealing. We also check those stealing online. So South Africa has developed that in their manufacturing sector, and it has reduced 20% downtime. We also have Lagos, that means Nigeria, we're part of people making progress as well. We are not just stagnant. And that's what also we should also give ourselves some accolades sometimes, that we are trying. So we have the Lagos textile manufacturing industry, where we've connected quality inspection systems. In our textile industry, I don't think we are doing badly at all. We have 78% quality consistency improvement. And the key lesson here is that data infrastructure is the non-negotiable foundation. Then we have Zambia, which is also an African nation, and it has IoT, blockchain, big data, AI, augmented reality, and virtual reality. And the outcome here is that it has significant supply chain performance gains. And the key lesson here is that workforce training is non-negotiable. Technology alone is insufficient. So you need also workforce to use it. Technology can't use itself. Somebody will have. That's why what we are doing in fifth industrial revolution is what? Human in the loop. Yes, some other countries might just do autonomous. Autonomous is do it on your own and let it go. But we are in Africa, we know where our problem is. We'll always have human in the loop to support, to know that what we're even getting is also working. Then we have the Nigerian fintech, where this is where we know that Nigeria have done some work. We have the AI chatbot, plus we have banks that are just online. You don't even need to enter into the offices now. You just stay where you are, open it, operate it, and use it. A lot of them exist. Standard Chartered does that. And all these small banks like Kuda, etc., they're all fintech. Fintech is doing a lot. And they are using this fourth industrial revolution techniques and the technologies to achieve all of this. So why Africa must leapfrog? Yes, we have done it before. You know, in those days when we used to use landline, we never knew that a mobile phone would work in Nigeria. In fact, a lot of people were skeptical that nothing like that can work, but it worked. So that's like leapfrogging, moving from landline, and the landline we used to have was majorly analog, where you'll be dialing and it goes back. And we leapfrog to mobile devices. We leapfrog to using mobile phones. So we need to also do that in this era. Because the way it is going in this fourth industrial revolution, moving to fifth and heading to sixth soon, we need to also leapfrog. Because if you look at that industrial revolution, 1.0 is using steam engine, 2.0 is electricity being ubiquitous. But we don't even have that. we are jumping different levels to get here. There are some places that don't even have electricity pole. And that's why I was super impressed with the first speaker that mentioned about how they are trying to go to the rural sector to do a lot in generating power to those people. That's fantastic. If all of us can have that, we can say yes, 2.0, which was in 17 something. That is where we might be getting. Then we have the market is now ready for us, for Nigeria, and that's why we should do what? Leapfrog. Yeah, so we also want to, what I'm also here to tell you is that there are some AI-driven solutions for Africa's industrial assets. We are talking about our industrial assets. So there are some solutions for our assets. We have the predictive maintenance, I've mentioned it earlier. We have the digital twin technology, that's where you're doing a lot of things in the virtual space. Then we have the AI-powered quality control. This time, you want to do quality control, quality assurance, you use AI to achieve that. This is also happening in the manufacturing company in Nigeria already, in some places in Ghana. We have the low-cost IoT asset tracking, where they have developed a low-powered wireless area network that track mobile assets in the remote places. And this is done by Rwanda. Rwanda has done this. We have the AI energy optimization, which utilizes cost. And this has been happening in Dangote Cement in Nigeria. We also have the natural language work orders, where we are also where in South Africa, in the Zulu, we have some languages that are working in Zulu. We have Hausa. A lot of people are doing a lot in the language sector. That's where you have the LLMs. So we have the Swahili. I know what's going on in East Africa now, because there was a conference I went in Rwanda where they are building on Swahili to make it the sole language for the East Africans. And they are trying to see that is working the way we have French and English. And the good thing about their own is that when you're doing the research, you stop somewhere, another person coming will pick from where you stop, not starting from beginning again, like reinventing the wheel. So that's also what's also going on. Workforce enablement is happening. Technicians log faults using voice. You really don't need to write if you don't know how to write. Use the language you have, and it can be interpreted, because a lot of research is going on using 4.0. So it's already happening, and this is the point we have. I think you can skip this so that we don't waste too much time, because I see the MC is already moving around. Then we are saying the affordable AI framework built for African realities. You see, the issue here is that no matter how we trust the Western technology, it can never work the same way here. Because my mobile, what's it called? iPhone, my second daughter's face opens it, my own opens it. So what is the problem? Why? Because it was not developed here. They didn't use our data. They just lumped all of us, Africans, as a country. So we are all one country. So if you have the same kind of face, it will not go wrong. But, so that's why we have to solve our own problems. We can take their technology and see the one that works. It's really not all of them that work in our own space. So why Africans' AI deployment costs far less. So the good thing is that we can do with our own raw materials, we can do things in our way so that it will reduce the amounts that we will spend on each of these problems. So we have open source softwares, and thankfully Python is for everybody. So we have Python, TensorFlow. It eliminates licensing. You don't need to start licensing for products or software products for you to be able to have access to those. You cannot develop your own through open source. We have cloud compute. The cloud compute is not ours yet, because all these are still foreign, but they came to us and they reduced it. So that's why we can have the Amazon Web Services, Azure, African regions now have the lower. So when it gets to our own, they reduce it up to about 60% less. So that's like, oh, you can develop here and not spend so much. Then we have the African engineering talent at 20 to 30% of Western contractors' rate and growing rapidly. And then we have mobile first. We've got to mobile. We use SMS and we use USSD. So you don't even need to have smartphones. To be able to do maintenance, you can just use your voice with our normal feature phone, especially for those in the rural sector, because anything we want to develop right now, when we talk about what's it called, automatic industry. We just have to put those in the rural sector because they are humans. And so anybody that is thinking in that line would definitely would definitely affect a lot of lives. Now, they can also be there and maintain things using just the normal feature phones, by using voice, using any language that they know how to use, and you should be able to work with the technology that is existing. So the blueprint here is what the world's best factories teach us. They have taught us a lot. We have gained from them. And now, how do we now use them? And the good thing is that our own will be in a lower cost, while their own is in a bigger, expensive way. So we shouldn't just copy the West. Yes, we should look inward because we can solve our problems. They might not be able to understand how it affects us. If you see people in different sectors, in different rural areas, they know how it affects them. Before you build anything for them, you will also need to get there to understand how they are dealing with their things. So if you say, I have a predictive maintenance that works in Lagos, it might not work like that over there because of a lot of cultural, a lot of traditional stuff happening in that space. So that's why we need to do that. So we say we shouldn't just copy. Why the world rushes to full automation, Africa shouldn't just rush like that. We will have what we call, how do we implement human-centric smart manufacturing from the start. So why human is that we still need human. Because we don't have all of those equipment that would dictate all those faults. Have you ever noticed that when you're traveling, they will search you, touch from head to everybody, every part of your body. But when you are coming back from there, they don't even look at it, they don't even touch you. You just, as you're going, everything is scanning everything. Because they have that. But we won't be able to afford that. So that's why we still have what? Human in the loop. So we'll still have human in the loop as we are preparing and knowing where we are starting from. And we have sustainability by design. How do we sustain what we are trying to build? How do we sustain this automation we are talking about? We are going to do automation, but it's not autonomous. Autonomous is that it's on its own? Not yet. Africa's infrastructure constraints can drive innovation and focus on energy efficient, low power, because energy is a major thing here. And I noticed that is also a center of this discussion. So we don't even have energy the way we should. So whatever we are building, we should also put that into consideration. No matter how much we put solar in our homes, it cannot replace normal lights that come. Because I've used that solar. Immediately there is no sun, the thing will be beeping. Your inverter will start beeping. And I say, how much solar will I put for it not to beep? It will be a lot, and that was what it still cost. How many people can now afford that? So you have to also now know how to cut the size, cut your coat according to your size. So you can buy the one that can sustain you per time, and while you wait for the other supply that will augment whatever you're doing. Then we have the demographic dividend. Africa will have the world's largest and youngest workforce, and that's our strength. What we have as youth, the strength we have, they don't have it outside. The only problem we are having is that it's causing brain drain. We are not taking care of them and they are rushing out. And that is another thing we have to look into in this country, where we invite the people that matters to talk about that. So what will separate African leaders from the rest? Yes, because we need them on the table. For us to move forward in this space, we need African leaders to lead. Data infrastructure should be first. Yes, they are trying according to the level that they know, but there's still much that needs to be done. So we need robust industrial data pipelines. The problem we have in Nigeria, first of all, is that we don't have data. You can't even tell somebody's real age. That's a major problem. If you say, oh, everybody bring your age, you see affidavits up and down. So we don't know the one that is truth and the one that is lie. But unlike some countries that as you're born is taken care of, if we can even do that, we will not. So we have a lot of system that is not yet working and that we need to put in. I don't know how we are going to start with that one because a lot of lies are already there. Some people don't even know the CV they submitted for some jobs. It's only when they get there, they say, oh, some people lie to the extent that they'll skip primary school. They forgot that primary schools existed. So with that kind of scenario that we have in the country, we need to say data is a problem. Data is a problem because people refuse to be truthful, people refuse to gather the right thing, and they keep hiding it, and that doesn't help us. So data infrastructure first, security by design. MC, am I up? Okay, workforce transformation, reskill programs spanning primary education to vocational training. Human capital is Africa's greatest asset because we know we have this asset, and that's why they are coming here. Have you noticed the amount of foreigners that come to? I mean, this institution, I see the amounts that come. They come regularly. We want your students. We want your students. Why don't they have? Because that is our own strength. So the workforce transformation is our own strength. If we can transform our people here, Nigeria will be a better place. And all this automation we want to do will work well if every other thing is in place because the workforce is there. Then we have the strategic partnerships. Collaboration with technology providers. Yes, because some of these equipment, we can't afford to buy them. Depending on the kind, small SMEs, small business, small, what do they call SMEs again? Small and, yes. Yeah, so most of them won't be able to get it, but they're the ones also working because they want to improve on whatever they are doing. So collaboration will be a very good thing, strategic partnership, and that will help African leaders. If they can push all of this, it will support a lot and will yield a result. So we have the regulatory alignment as well. We are there, they're taking our tax, government tax incentive for SMEs. It needs to be regulated. Sometimes, you know, things are taken as at random. We don't even know how it's calculated. Then we have the scalable pilot wins. Quick, well-documented wins, build organizational confidence, and return of investment evidence. So the vision, Africa's industrial future by 2035. You know, we have been giving ourselves milestone. How do we move from here to the next bus stop? And so by 2035, we can say starting from this year, we can have pilot phase where we can say, oh, 50 flagships, all deployments. We are not saying it's all wrong. We have potentials, and we're also working. I notice a lot of people are working different pockets in Nigeria. And so we say, oh, 50 flagships AI deployment across 10 countries. We can start with that, and we move to National AI Industrial Policy, which is being built. I see National AI Strategy. Strategy is there, but we need for industrial. Industrial is why we're here. Then we have the first $100 million Africa Industrial Funds. We also need to fund ourselves. The problem also we have is that we don't get funds from our country. We get it from outside, and that's why they collect our data. And when they collect our data, we are helpless. They will now use it and go and do what they want to do. And you can't blame them. They are paying for that data. But here, if we can also fund our people, our data remains with us, and we use our data well. Then we have 2027, 2028 safe phase, then we have 2030 inflection point, and we have 2035 leadership. So we are believing that by that 2035, Africa exports AI industrial solutions globally. People are building, so they can export that, and that also yields something for the nation. So with that, we will say, for policymakers, call to action, what are they supposed to do? Industry leaders and academics, and that is where we are. The best time to plant a tree, if it was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Even if we've not gotten it wrong since 20 years now, we can also start now. But the issue is that I'm not sure there are any policymaker, government people here to be able to know that, yes, this is also what we are asking for. So invest in digital infrastructure, mandate cybersecurity, fund vocational reskilling, establish national AI, and create innovation hubs. And also, that is also one thing I also mentioned that University of Lagos has been doing, because I'm coming from the University Academia, and University of Lagos is my school. So we have also been doing a lot of, not a lot, we have been doing some, building some innovation hubs where people go to express themselves, build things without classroom disturbance. So we have students that when they go there, they do things that you would never even imagine. And also, like I mentioned when I started, that the AI Unipod was also donated to University of Lagos just like some weeks ago. And a lot more is also inside that place that is working in the space of innovation hubs. So these are the 5 things that we should remember before we go home. That Africa's industrial assets cost 50 billion a year. That is what we lose. Industry 4.0 AI solutions directly address this affordably. So we can also, it's also addressing it because we are doing it in a cheaper way here. Africa should not copy the West. We have the unique advantage of deploying our own. The cost barrier is a myth. Open source is there to help. Return of investment is proven, and it will be fast. if we do it in this kind. And that's why they're coming, because they know that return of investment is fast and they gain a lot. Then the time is now. African continent free trade area. That one, they said is in the works. And it's going to help us to have one market that will affect all 54 countries in Africa. And that is kind of African Union. And with all of this said, I would say Africa's industrial future is not a problem to be solved, but an asset to be seized with intelligence and purpose. Thank you. Any question?
Okay. Let's do it better. That was very amazing, no doubt. And I know quite well there could be one or two questions in our mind to ask her, right? But for the word of time, she's still coming back to be one of the panelists. Am I right, ma? So maybe at that time, if there are questions, they could always throw them at you. So for the meantime, you might just relax and catch your breath. Thank you. Once again, let's put our hands together for her. It was a very wonderful one, no doubt. But let me just quickly do one thing. I mean, there's no right answer, and I'm not going to look at your face. I mean, I just want to do it like, let me find out. So while the speaker was speaking, she mentioned also, and we saw it on the screen, right? The thread that changes everything. The thread that changes everything, that changes everything. So she mentioned 3 of them, right? One of them is AI. Am I right? Another one is the big data and analytics. Am I right? Does anybody here by chance remember the 3rd one? Let me see if I have a gift for the person. Now you came with the speaker. It can't be you. Anyone, please? 3 were mentioned. Yeah, one of them is AI, big data and analytics. And the 3rd one, who wants to tell me? If you're able to tell me where I could get something for you, I'm not promising, I'm just saying. Anybody wants to try? Want to try? Technical. Say it again. Woo! It's correct. Please celebrate it for me. Oh, yeah, this is like. but he couldn't have just skipped to that particular page. I'm pretty sure that while he was speaking, his mind was fixed on what he was saying. And truthfully, it's correct. Let's assume it's correct, right? Okay, for the word of it. All right. So AI, IoT, and the big data. Thank you very much for that time. So when we get to the panel section, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to throw questions at you. All right. So moving forward, I'm going to be bringing up the very next person to speak. And at this time, I'm going to be double careful because when Professor came, I had some banter like, why did you call me like this? Did you put this one there? What is in your book? So I'm going to be very gentle on myself right about now. It is what I'm seeing I'm going to call. And I might not even call some. When you get to the podium yourself, call the rest. Is that okay? So that I can be safe from all of those. But I took that in good faith. All right. We're going to be listening to another lovely speaker.
Theoretical background. So just a brief about myself. I'm Karim Said. I have over 15 years work experience. I'm currently the head of engineering for Nestle Agbara factory. And I also, I'm probably one of your students. I finished from Unilag in 2006. So today we are going to dwell further on what Prof has said to us. Basically is how Africa can deploy smart technologies for better productivity. So I shared my slide already. Do you have it? Okay, excellent. So we see how we can leverage on smart technology for African growth. And like Prof has said in some historical background, we are evolving. And clearly from what we have seen in the last few minutes, it's clear that we have gaps to close as Africans if we have to take full advantage of IoT. And now I learn new things in the room, I 5.0 and 6.0. There are things to really talk, reflect about. So, next slide. So, these technologies are already part of us and we're full scale. Why? Today, we have a lot of people still going to China. Why? China is making full advantage of all this smart technology, and it makes their cost of production very cheap. You see us, every one of us goes there to go and buy products. That makes everything they do very efficient and cost effective. So, next slide. So, just to give you an overview, leveraging on what Prof has already explained to us, what powers a smart factory? And from the screen, you can see very well, it has to be well automated. You can see clearly there is scalability on automation, people using machine language to minimize manual operations. For instance, in the past, I knew when I started as a young engineer, we need to go with machine manual, writing machine data in log sheet. But with smart factory, you don't need it. You just need a data logger and something that can encode the data, and the data will transform with Internet of Things into your computer, and you can see via e.g. We have an app, Trend Miner, and this kind of app will tell you how each process parameter is working, instead of the only way where we need to go with manual sheet writing. And these are part of what we will get from deploying a smart factory. We also have the topic of condition monitoring. Today, the world is created to depend less on human. Why? AI is basically simulating human intelligence using machine language, and if we look at it in this context, it means that there are things that people have been doing that does not bring real value. I give you an instance. Why should we have somebody working as a gateman when you can operate your gates on the phone? Why should you have somebody doing manual parking when you have humanoids? Today we build a new factory in Saudi Arabia, and they don't have labor at the end of the line. They have humanoids who is doing the bringing of the carton into the palletization, and it's working fine. People can use their brain to do something productive. We also have, Prof has talked a lot about the industries of things connectivity, which is what led to how do we generate data from our equipment, where in the past we go around collating data, but now with Internet of Things and industries of things, you get your data easily. We also have the topic of energy management. Today, energy is very expensive, and the earlier we are able to produce equipment or have processes with less energy consumption, the better for us, because it will finally aid our cost of production. And once our cost of production is reduced, it means that affordability from the consumer point of view will be will be achieved, and this is how we can achieve scalability. And on the last point, we have data driven. We have data to analyze things. Once you don't have data, you cannot improve. And what smart factory is bringing to us is we have data to take decision. In the past, I knew we go to meetings going with manual paper where we have calculated efficiency, with a calculate percentage of OEE, what is the percentage of quality defect. But today we just use a dashboard via a Power BI. You go to the meeting, you don't go with any paper. Then the dashboard shows everyone. You don't need to come to think you can manipulate. You cannot manipulate or falsify the figure because it is data driven. And this is how we can get quantifiable and verifiable improvements to make our processes reliable. Next slide. So what do we stand to gain as Africa if we can able to deploy smart factory? First is we will have less downtime into how we resolve our maintenance, our equipment maintenance topic. Why? Because we already adopted condition monitoring, and with condition monitoring, it shows clearly that we can predict equipment failure before it happens, and it will aid our production planning, and all the end-to-end production chain planning will be more easier for us. Also, like I said, higher productivity. When things are under control, time is money. We don't waste time. We get every good production from everything we do, and it increases our productivity. We also have the topic of lower cost. We don't wait till equipment fails. With Internet of Things, smart factory, you can do predictability of your equipment, and you can react faster before it deteriorated. And also, today, this one really touches me, and I deliberately put it on the slide. Our supply chain, especially for cold storage. Today, when I reflect, our level of food waste in Nigeria is very high. And the simple solution is just cold storage. When you go to big market like My 12, all these places, you see food being wasted because we could not automate our supply chain processes for food chain. The farmer will produce one bag, and maybe 25% of the bag gets rotted before it gets to the end user. And it's because we really need to look into this topic for Africa. Then another point is also job transformation. Now we will have technical skill replacing. I give you an instance of the gate man. Now, why should I give it back to a child and the child decides to be a gate man when I can do what he's doing on my phone by having an app, and I can press, the gate opens. When somebody wants to come in, I put a code. Instead of somebody coming to open door and doing all this, and these are what we stand to gain, and this is why we have to face it and accept it. Then on the last point is also that we will also build capacity in terms of skills of people. Prof has already said, these white guys, I have a lot of my friends out there, they will come for us because our strength as Africa is population. Hard-working population, smart guys. And in the end, when you go to all the fintech in the world today, you see Nigerians everywhere. Nigerians and Indian dominated the fintech globally. Why? Because we have the population and we put our mind to learn. And in the end, like Prof said, maybe 2035 now, but you look at the total IT skill in the world, Nigeria will be like top 2 or top 3. Because we have our guys learning it, we are leveraging our population. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, to continue from where Prof stopped, because she mentioned some of the challenges we are having. We have skill gap topic. And it's really evident. Everybody knew that to build a career in STEM, a lot of people don't want to do STEM. When we're in school, science, tech, engineering, and mathematics. And so we need to really encourage people to go into the STEM career because it's the way to build tech skill. We also have infrastructure deficits. If you don't have power, how do you want to have a reliable internet to pass knowledge to the student? It's also another challenge we need to crash as African. Then we have cyber risk, which is common. We have to, for every innovation relating to internet, you really need to provide infrastructure to protect cyber crime. And on the last point, some of these technology are expensive. So we as Africans, we need to be deliberate to do investment, especially the initial cost for the investment to adopt this technology. It's costly, but the long-term benefit outweighs the pain at the start. Then I take on the left, on the right is, what do we do going forward for us to have an end-to-end success of deployment of smart factory? First is we go gradual, because it's going to be very capital intensive if we have to change everything. So we need to have a kind of roadmap for implementation, like a master plan, like in the next 5 years, this is how much technology I want to have deployed in whatever industry, and basis this implementation plan, you create a kind of review sections to make sure that everything is well done. Then, like Ross said, we also need data and digital infrastructure. Today, we say the whites are far better than us. In the train in Europe, there is internet free. And when you have internet free, it's an opportunity for you to learn for free. But here now in Nigeria, you have to pay for data. So there are some basic things government needs to take over to make our life easier and makes the adoption very easy. And the more important point I also want to dwell about is the government, university, and industry partnership. Today, when I'm on interview panel and I interview people with first class 2-1, I don't get impressed the way I want. yeah, from academic point of view, they are smart, but sometimes I can't feel that industrial readiness. And this is what we need to address. Our curriculum at the university level needs to inculcate a lot of the industrial needs so that we don't end up having graduates who are just mentally sharp but lacks industrial knowledge. And on the last point, we also need to have government deliberately creating economic zone where we can have more like a tech hub. I remember some years back, Mark Zuckerberg visited the Yaba area trying to build a kind of hub for Facebook, all this kind of thing. Our government really need to have this kind of deliberate partnership with Google, Andela, all these big organizations where they can come and have a base in Nigeria, and we can look forward to taking young graduates to this hub for knowledge development and training. So I think this is my last slide. So it is here with us, the Smart Factory. What is the gap between where we are today and where we desire to be in Smart Factory? And I think Nigeria can go far, far better with other African countries if we will embrace and deploy smart factory technologies properly. Thank you so much for your time, and this is the few I have to share with every one of you.
Please celebrate you once again. That was simple, short, straight, and clear. I mean, that's massive. Celebrate it once again for me. And I know quite well that the delegate might have one or two questions, right? But then I wouldn't want to keep you here for long because I said that we are going to be part of the panelists for the next session. So when you set up here, any question anybody has, so they're actually going to ask you from it. All right, thank you very much for coming. That was very lovely. All right, so quick one. Just before we have an intermission between the workshops and the panelists, let's quickly do something very simple. Osha, could you please get me two men, sorry, to help me come and lift this? 2 FT men, possibly, so that they could help me with this. Oh, can you do that for me? All right, we are moving forward, but then yesterday we did something very simple so that we can stretch out, and I'm going to repeat a version of that this time around. Could we please stand to our feet? I'm truly sorry to inconvenience us, so sorry, but then let's just warm up our energy small, right? We've been listening, we've been hearing people speak. Okay, so yesterday I did something similar to this, and we use our body to spell VCL. So today, can anybody guess what we're going to be spelling? Anybody wants to guess? That one is too long ago. So we're going to be spelling RRA. Are we good? RRA. So if you are to use our body to write R, how do we go with that? To write R. My sister, you can't even write R sitting. R has one standing, and okay. Okay, like this, Abby. Do I form R like this? Okay, great. So we're going to do this twice. This one R, right? Then the second R. How do we get A? Like this, Abby. Then small letter or big letter? It should be big letter actually. Capital, great. I'm not saying A yet too. I'm just, engineer, you're folding your arms. Okay, so I need to see A so that I can show us how A is going to look. A looks very gigantic, like letter A. Okay, so let's pick the one she showed us. So let's go the first R. We go like this. No, sorry. Do I form R like this? Okay, then the second R now. And letter A for Africa. There's one middle in that A. Nobody is doing it. Anyways, we all understand, right? Celebrate yourself, please. All right, so very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving forward. And right now, I'm going to be leaving the floor for the moderator. Right? Great. So the moderator is going to be taking this session from me. And I believe he has the responsibility to welcome other panelists to sit, introduce the topic, and make them speak to us. Then from there, if you have any questions, we will do it to ask after the panel section. It's my singular honor to leave the stage for a very lovely and good-looking young man I saw this morning when I came. All the way from Dangote Cement, please join me as I welcome Femi Salami. Please, let's celebrate him for me. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. So, I don't want to knock our MC again, like the prof. So, I can understand prof. So once you pass through the permanent head damage, you don't allow people to just skip by like that. So my name is Dr. Abdulaziz Femi Salami. So I could relate when she was knocking him. That is normal. So I would like to say good morning, or good afternoon again. We are in the afternoon, right? To our distinguished guests, professionals, experts in this room. So this session is a highly anticipated session, and the session is going to be on human capital development, regulatory frameworks, and policy on for transformation of Africa industrial sectors. So our discussion will focus on bridging competency gaps. So we have seen the presentation that the professor gave, the other one from engineer Said Karim. So our discussion is going to focus on bridging competency gap and aligning professional certification with industrial expectation, and practical case studies. How can we have practical case studies that can help shape what we have learned? And then success stories, challenges, and practical recommendations that we can actually take back to our own organizations and implement. So as we start this session, I encourage all of us to actually think on possible questions we can ask so that we can have an interactive Q&A. So I will do the intro in the academic way again, so that we have Professor Chika. Professor Chika Yinka-Banjo. She's the HOD Department of Computer Science, specializing in AI and robotics. So she has a PhD in that field, so she knows her onions very well. She has done a lot of collaborations in Canada, USA, Germany. And I happened to just check Google Scholar yesterday, and I was wowed. Like, she has more than 1,000 citations, so which is very impressive. And this is what we actually encourage. We want more women in STEM. People who can encourage our women to participate in this challenging field. So join me in welcoming Professor Banjo, please, with a round of applause. So next, let us, we have Engineer Said Karim. So he's the plant manager, Nestle, Nigeria. His specialization is in maintenance, engineering, and production management. Okay, factory engineer. Okay, sorry for that. He has about 20 years of experience in providing engineering, professional, and technical leadership. So, And he has done a couple of volunteering initiatives as well. So, please, round of applause for him again. So, we have Mr. Shegun Ogungbemi, the country utilities manager for Coca-Cola, specializing in engineering, hazard analysis, critical control points, quality management. Yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah. So we also have Mr. Engineer Tioluwani Peter John. So from Okra Solar, right? All right, renewable energy. So thank you very much. So we'll progress with our session shortly. So based on your presentation, it was actually very rich and informative. So there is increasing conversation about the future of work and industry competitiveness. And I know you mentioned during your presentation that during interviews that the level of preparedness of candidates is not what you actually see during the interviews. So in your view, what is the single biggest human capital challenge currently?
Thank you so much for the question. So, first thing first, our educational curriculum is not evolving. When I look at the coursework and the content from when I left University of Lagos 2006 to maybe late last year, I may not know of this year, I don't really see this big leap of evolvement. Okay. When you look at things, we move from basic programming language when we're in school, from Fortran, C++, and now when I see people being taught those things that are already obsolete, it gives a lot of worry. So first thing to address is our education curriculum matching the industrial expectation? Some of us you see on this table, we have learned far more than worry. So first thing to address is our education curriculum matching the industrial expectation? Some of us you see on this table, we have learned far more than what we were taught in school. And we can hide it under the name of experiences. But basically, one of the biggest challenge is first is uniting industrial expectation to the educational curriculum.
All right.
It's the first approach.
Okay.
Just to keep it short.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much for that response. So my next question goes to Professor Chika. So from your experience, what critical in reliability, automation, energy, and manufacturing operations? The reason why I'm asking this question is that in your slide, you made mention of Dangote Cement PLC in the area of AI, energy optimization. And I know that before we could achieve automation team, so, and we, in Dangote, we have this vision that we have to transfer all the knowledge. Having you here is a big opportunity to actually put it to you. Because,
okay, thank you very much. I also like to correct one thing that Engineer Said said. Yes, he mentioned that when he left University of Lagos 2006, that he didn't see much of the curriculum. But I also tasked him, he has been there for 20 years in the industry. What has he done to come here that, oh, there should be academia industry collaboration? You went to India to invite someone to train you people, and that's why your name is on the map. right?
Yeah.
Yes, so we in the academia, we teach the students from what we have learned. We tell them when technology is evolving, and also they also do such. But if we have this collaboration, if people from the industry will not run, they always, answer us when in engineering in the University of Lagos. But what might be it will also support. Then when technology is also evolving, we should also evolve with it by collaborating with those in the sector of trends, technology trends that will support.
Right.
And also if we have money, we can hire Indians like you did, and it will support us to build that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So it's not as if we have a very fat budget, but we have a timeline to it. So I think Engineer Karim can also relate that you don't get expatriate for a long time. Yeah, just for maybe 1, 2, 3 years. Then they transfer the knowledge. Then Nigerians will now start rolling the ball.
Train the trainers. So
yes, definitely. So thank you for the response. To Mr. Shegun Ogungbemi. So, based on your experience and your background, I would like you to shed more light on to what extent should government and regulators influence workforce development through policy, incentives, or certification frameworks? Yeah, so, yeah.
Yes, taking a cue from part of what has been said with respect to human capital and not having people or workforce that readily fits into, let's say, the requirement of the industry. I mean, I'll give a practical example. I mean, we have a number of instances where we found out that let me be specific, for example, for technicians, where you go out and we employ, and then you find out that, okay, maybe they have the basic, they have the basic knowledge, but of course, you want tailored to your application. So, what, for example, we have done is that we have an academy wherein we bring in people, we have the basic skills, and then we now further give them training, more specific to the operations. With respect to policies, government, yes, we need government to be able to work hand in hand, in such a way that we don't, the curriculum should be such that, yes, you need the theory part, but we need to encourage more, even while the theory is being undertaken, that the students, of course, partnering with industries to be able to have this theory part practicalized. I mean, for them to see at the early stage, and then so that they're able to relate, because it will amaze you that sometimes you have people who are very knowledgeable on paper, but when it comes to the doing the application, they struggle. So we need this collaboration to be able to see that, one, the curriculum, is such that it will be a mixture. Yes, the theory plus as much as possible the practical, with the support of the industries, definitely, to be able to see, and encouraging as much as possible for organizations where they can do that, maybe have some academy to have tailor-made programs that will suit their operations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that response. So I just want to ask a follow-up to that. That's how how much is the government supporting the academy at your organization? Like what kind of support are they giving? Any kind of support, specifically in getting? I don't know how you run your academy, but when it comes to in Dangote Cement, for example, the academy is basically to train our technicians, get our technicians ready to work in the cement plants, for example. So we get support from the state government, from the NO, and we also get from the NYC. So I just want to know the model you are using.
Well, maybe we need to learn something from you. I would say we don't get, a direct support, because what we do is we do an open advert to bring in people. Also, but most times we also contact the technical schools.
Okay.
To try to recommend, inform them that so program is going to happen. So if they will have students that they can recommend. But for sure, in terms of government, we are definitely open for support that can help cushion this. Maybe we can look at a way that, because this is something which is capital intensive, so maybe one of the supports can be in a way to look at how companies who are undertaking this can have some kind of financial rebate or something, because what we are doing is instead of just maybe getting people who are ready in quotes, yes, they have basic things, but then we invest in money to train them, yes. Which not every organization will be able to do this. So financial or kind of rebate will definitely help.
Thank you very much. So my next question is for Engineer Teluani Peter. So all the speakers, they talk about this brain drain challenge. We have been losing a lot of talent to Europe and America. And and Professor Banjo mentioned something about the generational gap. So we cannot avoid that. So the way Gen Zs want to work is different from the way millennials want to work. So how can modern industries create environments that attract, retain, and continuously develop top technical talents while being aware of the generational gap that has happened now? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the way I see it is to create clear developmental and growth path for people who will be working in organizations. This will help them to be able to work the way they want to work and as well achieve the type of growth they want to achieve. So the way Nigeria is going, Africa is going, people, professionals want to get to a point where they are recognized globally, because this is what the Gen Z is all about, global recognition. So I want to be in Nigeria and have the same recognition as someone who is working out of Silicon Valley for the same organizations, for the same type of organization, for the same type of niche. So now, Gen Zs want to have this recognition, they want to grow, they don't want to follow the genuine path or the natural path of how things are going. So the way I see it is, if we bring into recognition a genuine path, organizational growth for them, then everyone will not want to move from Africa to Europe or to the developed countries, and brain drain can be limited. Also, we must make sure that we have all that it takes for them to grow. So organizations want people to work and grow, but do you create the enabling environment that helps people to grow? How much training is available for people who are working in such organization? How much development are they going to get? When you come into organizations to start working, you have limited knowledge, you have limited skill, you have limited ability or specialization. Now, going forward, I know that a lot of us learn on the job, we gather our experience, but we need to create skills more, we need to get more exposure, and we need to continue to develop ourselves. The technology is always improving. Everyone is talking about what it was when they were in school, what it is now. The technology emerges every day, and it is very fast. So organizations also need to start improving themselves so that the people who are working get improvement in their skill, in their specialization, and therefore they can measure up to the standard of people out there. And now when they have measured up to the standard of people out there, then the next thing that comes in is the compensation level. It has also to measure up, because when you have the skill, when you have the technicalities, when you have the specialization, and you feel you are not being appreciated, then brain drain also sets in, because you want to move ahead and get this recognition.
All right, thank you very much for that response. So for the purpose of our audience, we have been discussing a lot about technology and how it affects human capital development. So I don't know if we have one or two questions from the audience. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Enoch Nwobi from Rich Oil Limited. My question is going to come in two folds. As a practitioner and then as a business leader. I listened to the prof. The prof presentation cuts across trends in the industry and in technology. But I want prof to give us a point blank where we are heading to, and the frog leap or leapfrog we need to get to where we are supposed to be. And then the other members of the panel, from a practitioner point of view and a business point of view, you advise us how we can address the gaps involved. Because most of the presentation covered so many aspects, and some aspects are also repeated here and there. But from a practical point of view, as a business leader and as a practitioner, one, we want to go home with, where are we? What do we need to get to where we are supposed to be? And what are the gaps from various practices from the members of the panel, so that we can go home and meet our team members. Look, this is what we need to do to meet with the trend of things. This is where we need to invest. And then we can do more research. But we need to know where are we supposed to be, the gap in between from different industries, so that we can go home with something tangible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Yes, you want to know where we are. We are not where we started from anyway. So, in the technology trends part, we have mentioned that automation came, and Nigeria has been doing automations. Then after automation, which was the third industrial revolution, you're blocking? Okay. And so when I listed the trends, because we are talking about Industry 4.0 here, we listed different levels of acceleration that has happened. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Now, if you ask me where we are dabbling between one, we are touching almost every, but we are not fully in one. Why I must say that is because if you know 2.0, which is fully electricity everywhere, we are not there. But we have even left there and be generating as much as we can for ourselves. And we moved to automation, which is the 3.0, which technology came with this digital computing. And almost every workforce in this country is using computers. So we are there. But after that, we now moved where we have the AI and the emerging trends. Some of us are still trying to understand how AI will help. So we are in that in between, that's 3, 4. Now, where are we heading to? We are heading to where some people know how to do all these practical things. They have the knowledge, they can use the machines, but they don't have the data. And then we have those that understand data, but they don't know how to operate the machine. We are going to collide. That is where collaboration will come, and that is where we are heading to. Interdisciplinary, everybody on the table, stakeholders on the table, and we are all going to be part of building it together. So if you know how to use the machine, and I know how to use the data, I learn your own, you understand my own, we build it well. Everything works well. But if I build it with the silo knowledge that I have, it will not be effective and it will not be more productive, because I'm just building from silo. I'm not getting your own part. So everybody is important right now. So that's what we call collaboration. So those that know how to do it, but they don't have the knowledge of the technology. Those that have the knowledge of technology, but they don't know how to do it, we collide together. And that's where we are headed now. And that is where we should be. Thank you very much. I don't know if you answered your question.
Thank you, Prof, for the sincerity. Basically, we are not all on a straight line. We are not on the same level. So for me, first thing is every industry has peculiarity in terms of technology platform they are willing to adopt. So if I come as a business leader, first thing to do is to set my priority and roadmap to say that maybe by 2030, I want my industry to be paperless. You need to have an ambition of what you want to achieve with all this technology. You can have some industry, they will tell you that they are okay with what they are doing because they don't see any value to it. So as per what action you will build is dependent on what is your strategic roadmap for technology adoption. I give you an instance. This year we implemented like 3 apps. We have app for clinics. Why? We feel that we want more accountability on drug insurance in the clinic. So we also feel like, okay, we don't want to be keeping log sheet. We implemented trend miner, which is for every process parameter is showing us real time. So for me, is what to do is basis where you want to be. If you look at all your processes, you say, okay, these processes, I want to be in semi-automated in 2030. These processes, I want to be in full automation. You list out all your processes as an industry, as a business leader, and which one you think you want to adopt technology, you indicate, and when. That is case 1. Case 2 is, you look at your skill set. Do I have what it takes to achieve what I have planned to do in my roadmap? Prof already said something. We all have different knowledge. So what that means is you need to create a skill matrix for all your employees to state that this man, he knows Excel maybe only just to do typing. He doesn't know Excel to do VLOOK, do all this further data analysis. You say, okay, this employee, we will organize training for him. He will move from just using Excel to do data collation to using Excel to do Power BI. And you'll go another point, you say, okay, this guy does not know how to use some digital skill. I will train them, and you will build a development action plan for each of your employees, basis their current skill, versus where you want to achieve based on your roadmap. And this is how I think that as a business leader, you can close the gap and adopt 100% your desired app, because some of this technology is not applicable to every industry. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Labib Suleiman Bello, a graduate trainee from Dangote Cement, part of the Human Capital Development under Dr. Abdulaziz Femi Salami. So my question goes like this. In what ways can the emerging engineering technology fundamentally transform human capital development to skill? In what ways can the emerging engineering technology like digital tools help fundamentally transform human capital development to skill?
Okay, I can give a little instance, and you can go on the internet. There is an app, they call it POKA, P-O-K-A. It is an app we use for training and development, which means when you said, okay, for instance, now if I'm factory engineer, there are some assigned competency I need to have. And when I go to this POKA app, they will already put me a kind of e-learning of this competency. And in this app, I will do the e-learning and do the assessment. And when I do the assessment, if I'm successful, it will indicate to my line manager and to myself a copy of my certificate. And I think this is how we track people's skill sets moving from one point to another, basis what we have seen as a skill gap versus how they should be performing on their job. So this is one example I can give. I think my other panelists can give more.
Yes, so you said emerging trend. So it depends on what you're going to do. So if, for instance, let me use my field as an instance. I'm supposed to teach a course that I have not been taught and I don't know how to go about it. I will go and use the technology existing. Now there's a lot in AI that can teach you. Then you use the AI videos, different things. I'm talking about the field now. And learn. Then I've upgraded. Then I can also handle that course. I think it applies in every area of work. So if you're in fintech or if you're in business and you need to upgrade so that you'll be able to do something in that space, you will go and upgrade, because knowledge is power. That's what make you better than another person, because you have gone to upgrade with something that they don't know. So the emerging trend here is that what came with emerging trends majorly is the AI that, in fact, we are now in the era of AI. It's no more even calling them 4.0. They say the era is era AI. Now, so you can go there and learn a lot online to learn, a lot in AI to learn. That will help you to upgrade, and also that will help you to get more money. A lot of people have learned it and they are using it for business and making money out of that. So it depends on what you're looking for, and that will be able to help you to achieve that. So the emerging trends that we have will help you by you going to learn there and using what is available to achieve what you want, your target. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I would like to maybe say one or two things on the first question. In respect to take home, I mean, how do we, I mean, all what we have been discussing today, I mean, what is it that we take home? Firstly, for me, I mean, we must recognize that we are different levels in terms of industries. There are people who are maybe already close to the ideal, and there are people who are maybe just starting. So my advice would be that yes, while we may have a roadmap of you know, what we would like to do or where we would like to be, we need to recognize where we are and learn to take baby steps before you know, hoping to end at where maybe everybody is. One other thing in doing this is to recognize that at the end of the whole thing, many organizations, you cannot divorce the issue about cost or profitability from whatever we are doing. So at the end of the day, organizations, especially maybe manufacturing organizations, we are not charity organizations. I mean, let's not fool ourselves. At the end of the day, irrespective of what we do, especially if you are listed on the stock exchange or whatever, the shareholder wants to see at the end of the day, okay, how much he or she will go home. So we cannot divorce the issue of cost and profitability, and of course we need to use more of and this. We have tools, and AI can help us to do that in terms of helping with business cases, because first, as a manufacturer, you know, first question is, what is my core objective? I want to maximize output, you know, with minimal downtime, you know. So what are then these things? What are the things that will help me in doing this, you know? Producing smartly, you know, maintenance, you know, all the various things that have been talked about. But of course, in terms of scaling, scaling is there. So you start small, but I would say start from somewhere and analyze, begin to review, and check against, you know, what your roadmap is, and you know, there are some steps, some things that, okay, you might find that, okay, maybe no, this is not, we should not have done this or that. But at the end of the whole thing, people, I would say, are the most important element to all this, because people make the difference. So we must be ready to invest in the people, prepare the people well ahead. And also, like a colleague said there, that about the Gen Zs currently, you know, we need to realize that this is a reality, and in our plan for people development, we need to also understand the reality about taking care about them, you know, in terms of recognition and also reward, adequate reward, you know. You may want to say maybe it's not fair, but okay, I always say that life itself is not fair, but there are certain parts of the set skill which is high, you know, requires a lot of brain knowledge, and you know, the truth of the matter is, if you need to, want to keep such people, you need to recognize the extra effort by way of remuneration and so many things, just to make them feel comfortable, because they're very fast paced thinking people. So provide an environment for them to such a way that they will be able to you know, do more and more for the organization. So this will be my additional comment. Yes, sir. Yes.
And how did you achieve that?
Okay, so a company, you know, we're a member of international a group, so which also exists outside the country. So maybe one of the things that okay, so to start first in terms of where we are around the Industry 4.0 with respect to execution of engineering, maintenances, and production. And there are even some equipments which we are acquiring such that on their own they have AI learning. So we have, for example, some inspectors inspecting machines where you manually you adjust, you fix, but now you have machines now where they learn, and then, you know, internally they're able to, over time, the pattern, they're able to auto adjust. But we find out that the challenge which is, let's say, the last 2-3 years, which is the biggest in engineering manufacturing, is the automation skill in terms of retainership. Why? Because, I mean, this AI and all that, and the business had to specially recognize that this is a reality, and we have to do some readjustment in such a way that they know that there is a special recognition for what they do, because we're at a level where a lot of things is automated, highly automated, and you need human knowledge for troubleshooting, you know, when something goes wrong. However, you don't want to get to that point where things are already bad. So therefore, there's a lot of advanced kind of predictive activities which therefore the team are doing to ensure that this equipment continue, and what needs to be done before they fail or they break, you know, are already being implemented. So this requires a lot of work and a lot of specialized knowledge. But again, we didn't just wake up there, and I must say that also we also have leverage of the group, because like I said, we're a member of the group, and the company here in Nigeria is just one country out of, we have other 28 other countries that make up the group. So we leverage at the group level in things like this, where we exchange ideas, and there's learnings where we learn from. So some of the things we don't have to necessarily start from the scratch. So there's a pool where every country can go to access things that you can see that is relevant and maybe adapt to the environment. Because obviously there are some things in Europe which will not just work here, but definitely there are a lot of things which we're able to learn and we implement. I would say it's a mix of both. It's because the key thing for the organization is we want to maximize output. So it is guided by the kind of equipment that we go for, you know, and the systems that we operate, you know, but the group gives the liberty to localize certain things. So it is not, we are not forced, for example, to use systems or use equipments which we feel maybe will not, you know, help us here. So yes, while that guidance is there, we have the liberty to localize solutions which we believe would help us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for the highly engaged questions and the feedback from the audience. So on this note, I think we have reached the climax of this session. And one key takeaway is that Africa's industrial transformation will not be driven solely by technology, AI, and all this. Definitely, all these things are very important, but we still have to talk about the people who are going to use this technology. So human capital development is of central importance. Whether you are thinking of from the academia point of view, which Professor Banjo highlighted, or you are going from the industrial point of view, which our guys from the industry have also highlighted. Corporate training, academic training is very important. Everything goes together in developing the Africa we want to see in the next 5 to 10 years in terms of growth, development, and where we want to be. So on behalf of the organizers, I sincerely thank our distinguished panelists and our engaged audience for contributing to such a rich discussion. Please join me in appreciating our panelists. We need a round of applause. Thank you very much. We can do better, please. Thank you very much.
Well, that was lovely, very lovely presentation there. Thank you very much for holding it down. Yeah, so quickly, we'd like to take this time for photography and presentation. Photography and presentation, so that we can move from there. We are very grateful to all the panelists. Thank you for making it out for us today. Your insightful inputs are all welcome. Thank you for your time and those resourceful moments. Yeah, if you meant to clap, please, let's do better for them. If you meant to clap, let's do better for them. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. All right, please don't forget to smile at the camera, but it shouldn't be AI generated smile. Natural one, correct. Can I look at the camera, please? Still very much RRA 2026 from the stable of Vet and Concepts Limited. We had this yesterday, and the continuation is today. We've had speakers. We've just had our panel intelligently moderated by all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Salami. Thank you very much, all the panelists.
Okay. Okay, on behalf of the Veteran Concept Group Limited, we say thank you, Professor Chika Yinka Bajo, for your participation. We are utmost grateful for this. Thank you, madam. So, Mr. Said Karim, we say thank you very much for your participation and for the engagement. We look forward to having you in the future again. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, distinguished guests, delegates, speakers, partners, sponsors, thank you for staying tuned. Before we go have our lunch break, we are going to be having another wonderful and possibly very practical presentation. Am I right, sir? Great. A very practical presentation. And I want to encourage also to ensure that we are all part of this. All right. Like I said, the next presentation is likely to be very practical, and I want to encourage you also to ensure that we are all part of it. Shortly after that, we are going to be having a lunch break. Yeah, but then it's important we have this section. All right, I need someone to please assist Ekene on this. It is not a one-man thing. It has to be like 3-4 men kind of, right? Okay, I would have assisted you, but I'm not as chesty as you are, you know. All right, verify. All right, I'd like us to please get settled. We've got representatives from the Tenko. And like I made mention earlier now, the next section is likely to be very practical, so I'd like us to please pay attention to this. All right, so it's my singular honor to make welcome to the podium for this next presentation, Steve Ashley. Please, let's celebrate him as he comes. Let's put the hands together for Steve. That's right, Craig? I'm right, great. I'm actually scared of, all right, thank you.
Okay, I'll take the microphone. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Wonderful to be here in Nigeria, my second time in your beautiful country, so thank you to the exhibition company for inviting me, and Asset Matrix, who are our partner here in Nigeria. So you have the presentation ready, I presume? Okay, fantastic. So this is going to be a very different presentation to something you may have heard of before. My name is Steve Horsley. I'm the Vice President of the Dinteco Group. What you can see on the slide here is that we are talking about lightning protection, the protection against lightning strikes, but in a different way to traditional technology that arrests a lightning strike. What we're going to be talking about today is this incredible product here called a DDCE, which actually allows no lightning strike to occur. And then we also have on the ground there a filter which is for lightning strikes that go to the ground. So I'm a member of the IEC 62305 committee. I'm British, but I represent the Republic of Ireland where I live. I'm on IEC 61400, which is for wind turbines. I'm also on the atmospheric explosives committees. I'm a member of IEEE, IET, etc. So I'm very involved in a lot of things. And it's very important that this technology is involved in standards. It's involved in, the future of lightning protection. For too long, it's always been thought that for lightning, you arrest a lightning strike after the event has occurred. But way back, over 100 years ago, this was invented by Nikola Tesla. His patent got lost, but our founders, our owners of the company, found this technology over 23 years ago and now turned it into a global business. So we're going to talk about the Dinteco Group. We're going to talk about lightning environment in Nigeria. The lightning formation, atmospheric dynamics, conventional technology in lightning, what is electric field compensation, condition monitoring and the future developments so that you know that you're protected, case studies, LPS design with Dinteco technology, and some other things in that. Okay. So introduction to Dinteco. As I said, we are 23 years in business. We're a Spanish company. Our headquarters is actually based in the Principality of Andorra, which is a separate country associated with Spain and also with France. We have 20 years plus experience because we were formed quite a while ago. So we've been selling this technology all over the world, and now it's our chance to bring it here into Nigeria. With over 12,000 installed devices, with never a lightning strike in that period of time, We have a tremendous track record. We go 40 countries around the world, and we have associated companies that work with us, Dinteco America, Dinteco Japan, Dinteco Spain, and various parts around the world. So our mission is to provide safety. Our mission is to make sure the assets that we all have are protected, and those assets, of course, are human life. They are the assets of all of the infrastructure that we have, maybe in the electrical grid, renewable energy, industrial facilities, farming, and so on and so on, schools. Any type of asset can be struck by lightning, and we protect against that. So we are a global leader. We are the #1 company in this particular type of technology globally, and we own the patents worldwide in over 40 countries of this technology. And you can see the product there, which I'll explain in a moment. So we have a very, very large facility. The picture doesn't show the size of it, but it's a huge building that we have in a place called Vitoria Gaitas, which is in the northern part of Spain, where we design, manufacture, test, verify, and develop the technology of lightning protection. So, as I said, Principality of Andorra, our headquarters, manufacturing and design in Vitoria, and maintenance and installation there, the Dinteco Group. Every type of asset can be protected, every type of asset can be struck by lightning. Because we are in lightning every single day, we hear of lightning strikes causing significant damage. We unfortunately hear of the loss of life. We hear of millions and millions of whichever currency you're in, euros, dollars, or your local currency here being lost because of lightning strikes. So as you can see, telecoms, energy, oil and gas, industrial, we have case studies and we have installations across all of these, but also on the sea. If you're in the marine world, lightning for a boat on the sea is extremely dangerous, and our technology protects everything from a simple sailing yacht to a catamaran to a super yacht to a cargo ship, and etc. That's just a slide saying we're all over the world. And we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, thousands of customers, biggest names in the world that are working with us. So the product range, what you can see here, this first one here, is called a DDC 100. And generally what 100 means is this area of protection that it has. We have a 25, a 50, and we have very specific marine products. We have a product on the right here called Dinol, which is for wind turbine protection, because as you probably know, wind turbines get struck by lightning very significantly because of the height of them and because of the complication of having a blade which we know becomes ionized. So I'll talk about that in a moment. And then we have down here a DIN-fill filter. If a lightning strike hits the ground, you've got all of those currents that go through the ground, which can be extremely dangerous. So we'll talk about that in a moment as well. Okay, Nigeria. So I'm not an expert here, of sure, but we had a look at it. And basically we can see the months in the year where you have tremendous lightning here. We know across Central Africa, this is one of the most dominant places in the world for lightning, especially in the Congo, in the central part of Africa there. So we can see that basically you have lightning nearly every single month of the year somewhere across Nigeria. And of course what we can see down the south is that that is where the dominant part is, by the seas, of lightning. So we know you have a huge issue here with lightning strikes. I can't show it all today because I can talk for about a couple of days on the subject, but there is a website called Blitzortung, which shows lightning strike activity as it happens. In the world, every single day there is about 8 million lightning strikes. Some of them are what is called cloud to cloud, and a majority, about 1/3 of those, actually come from the cloud to the ground or from the ground up to the cloud. So it's a significant problem, and we can see it here. And we can see by the looks of it, we're just tipped into June, but in May is one of your biggest times for lightning according to the data. Okay, so atmospheric dynamics. What causes lightning? Lightning comes in a cloud called cumulonimbus. It's referenced as the number 9 cloud in the world. on a list of different clouds. And you may have heard of the saying, I'm on cloud 9. Well, cloud 9 is used as a saying to be you're at the top of what everything. And cumulonimbus clouds go to many thousands of feet up into the atmosphere. They're caused by convection. They're caused by this wonderful hot weather you have here in Nigeria, and also cold currents. And these two collide, and they form the thundercloud, which is called cumulonimbus. What happens in the cloud is a thing called triboelectric charging, and in that cloud, cations and anions are formed, which are different charges, one negative and one positive. And as they separate, they get into regions within the cloud. And electrical law is very simple. All they want to do is to come back together again. So a positive charge just wants to neutralize itself with a negative charge. I don't know when the last time you held a magnet was, or two magnets, but if you put two similar polarities together, they push apart. And if you put opposite polarities, they come together. So a thundercloud really is majority of the time negatively charged, which means that all the negative charge on the ground or any building or on the sea gets pushed further down. What happens then is the opposite charge starts to rise. And so somewhere out there, there is a significant rise in charge. And that is called an upward streamer. And that actually connects to a downward step leader, and you have a lightning strike. Negative charge coming to positive charge. In traditional technology, which I'll speak about in a moment, traditional technology, all it does is arrest that and creates an upward streamer of opposite charge. So we can see it here. We can see the currents and the way they are in this very basic graphic. Okay. Okay. So traditional technology, if you've ever seen them, I'm sure you have, if you see them on the top of the buildings, you see a thing called a Franklin rod. It's been around over 250 years. 1752, Benjamin Franklin flew a kite up into the sky and he discovered lightning, and luckily he wasn't killed by it. But to arrest the lightning strike, you have to give it a path. So for many, many years, that path seemed to be the safe way to protect against a lightning strike. And now today, our technology does not do that, which we're going to explain. Okay, so what we see is this incredibly wonderful device that we have here on the stage. I got it up here. What you notice about this device is that it's actually has a top sphere, a lower sphere, and it has a dielectric between it. That is the typical recipe for a capacitor. This is an extremely advanced capacitive technology. And so what the technology does is it attracts opposite charges at either side of the dielectric. And within inside of this device, what you'll see in here is these charges are brought together and drained to ground. This device is passive. It requires no power. There are no moving parts. And the lifetime of this product is 10 years plus minimum. So what we have here and what you're seeing in the graphic is the negative electrons in the atmosphere are attracted to the top plate. The positive charge is attracted to the underside. And during Ohm's law inside, we all know Ohm's law, you get this leakage current. Now this is incredible because this leakage current is in milliamps. And because it's in milliamps, it's not dangerous. And because this device is passive, the minute you install it and the minute you actually put the earth cable down into the ground, it works immediately. It's like nature has created this incredible product. And it works like this. So we do hundreds and hundreds of tests. We're 23 years in business. We work with the biggest laboratories and universities in the world. And we do simulation tests, we do real live tests in the field, we do testing in laboratories. And these simulation charts show how the device works. It shows the electric field, and it shows the electric field reduction when we put our device on. And we go with these in electric field ranges from 0.5 hertz to 2 gigahertz, and we can see a reduction. And All of these simulations that we do are actually what we do in the field. Okay. So conventional LPS, you attract a lightning strike. With this, you do not have a lightning strike. If you've ever been close to a lightning strike, it's one of the most frightening things in the world, but the most spectacular. You know, the thunder that we hear is the air exploding as the strike occurs. So this device, remember, there is no lightning strike. So if we say that this stage is a building, if this device is above the building, that building is protected. And it's protected because we do not allow opposite charge to develop. All lightning strikes start with corona. Corona starts, and you would have probably seen this on many electrical assets, this bluish, purplish glow that comes where the air in the field is becoming ionized. Ionization then leads to this upward step leader, which connects to the downward leader. This device does not allow corona, and it does not allow upward streamers to form. Because it's acting like a tap, because it's passive, because it works 24/7, it is actually draining the atmosphere and not allowing it to become charged, even in the worst storm you can imagine. We sell lots of these in places like Florida, where they have tremendous hurricanes, tornadoes, lightning. It's one of the lightning capitals of the world, and they have storms all the time. Now, the clever thing about this device, it works in every type of situation. If it's a beautiful sunny day, or it's the worst storm you can ever imagine, or the worst amount of rainfall and so on, this device does not get affected. It is operating 24/7 without any power. So it's an incredible product. So this protects the building, or whatever it may be. It could be a school, a hospital, it could be this hotel, it could be anything. So what happens, though, if a lightning strike occurs outside of the protected area and it strikes the ground? So this is the DIN-fill filter, and we have one of them just on the stage here that you can see. And this ground filter is a high reactance filter. It protects against ground-induced surges, and they are very dangerous. This is separate to surge protection that you have for all your cabling and everything. You still keep your surge protection. So this is complementary. This is where a lightning strike does not go down the cables, it's coming through the ground in. And we sell thousands of these. So what is being protected is protecting against the strikes, as I've said, that are close to whatever's being protected. And here's just some examples of how simplistic it is to install this device, as you can see here in the example. This is a Dinol device. This is a device that does a similar function inside a wind turbine. If you make the wind turbine non-ionized, and it is not a positive charge or negative charge, and you use our technology to keep it in balance, you don't get a lightning strike to a wind turbine. And we're very fortunate now, over the last 2 to 3 years or more, we've been installing this on wind turbines in extremely difficult wind farms which have lots of lightning strikes, and our wind turbines have never been struck by lightning. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much technical stuff because of our time today, but basically our technology is fitted into the blades of the wind turbine, and our DIN-fill is protected down the bottom of the wind turbine. So it's a structure, and this is a very big technical discussion. So you can see we are way ahead in protecting of wind turbines. And what happens in the wind turbine, if you look on the left, that's traditional. The cloud comes over, it's negative, it can be positive, and this device recognizes whether the cloud and the atmosphere is negative or positive. There is no switch, you don't have to switch it. The device recognizes that through nature, and so therefore the wind turbine becomes extremely positive charged and it gets a lightning strike. When you put our technology in, you can start to see the blades have become negative, like the negative atmosphere. Negative and negative repel, so you don't get a lightning strike. And sorry, we'll go on from this because these are quite many of the same thing. What we see inside the blade there is where the Dinol device is fitted, and this device is doing exactly what this DDCE device does. Okay, and then on the nasal, which is the top, it's very straightforward. We just put one of these on the nasal. We have the dinol inside, and we have the din-fill filter at the bottom. The wind turbine is completely protected from lightning strikes. And again, we show an example of this, and we have a graphic that we can show some more. Okay, so just looking at this diagram again, just a little memory. The top part of the device is collecting negative charge. The bottom device of the device is collecting the positive charge, and inside it creates a leakage current, which is directed to ground through an earthing cable. And in the earthing, we look for an earth resistance of less than 5 ohms. The lower, the better, because resistance slows things, as we know. So, and if you can't get to those levels, we know how to do that with various ways. We protect lots of historical sites. We're very, very proud to say that we protect Sagrada Familia on a crane. You may not know Sagrada Familia, but in Barcelona, this is an incredible cathedral done by Gaudi, and it's protected by us. So this incredible world heritage is protected by Dinteco. So LPS design with our technology. We have to calculate the risk. So with on IEC, there is risk assessment in section 2, and we do risk assessment. So if you have a site, you have whatever asset you want to protect, we can tell you how to protect that and look at the risk that's involved. So generally in IEC 62305, they use a technology called rolling sphere, and we cooperate with that. And then the height of the DDC is very important. It must be at a certain height to be able to give this umbrella of protection across the asset. And these are just examples of rolling sphere sketches. Okay, go on, please. And again, more examples of how we start to put these calculations together, determine how many DDCEs you need, and how to protect. And again, this is a triangulation method. It's a different way of doing it, but you can see the device must be higher than the structure that is protecting, and we work out the area of coverage. We do a lot of oil and gas, and we know that this is a huge market here in Nigeria. And of course, what is the advantage of our technology in oil and gas? There is no spark. There is no lightning strike. There is no risk of having a flammable problem. So our technology, again, we work out where to put the devices. And you remember, there is no lightning strike. With traditional technology, if you've got an atmosphere that's explosive, it is extremely dangerous. And again, examples, the DDC up higher. Sometimes we have a smaller device that actually protects just a single structure. We call that DDC air, and it's, we use that as well. Okay, so installation, earthing, and system integration. So it's very simple, the earthing. It's an earth cable that comes from inside of here. We have screws here that connect the earth straight into the ground, and as soon as you put it into the ground with the right arrangement, making sure we have equipotential bonding around all the earth in, make sure everything is the same situation, the device works. And we can see different structures for putting the device earthing down, which is very, very, very simple, very simple. And again, another example, you can see the pipe coming down the side there with the earthing cable. Again, a very simplistic structure. The DDC at the highest point, and again, that's just showing an expanded view. We have a connector that goes in there as well. It's on our booth upstairs. It's very simple to see. And then you can see the way that the grounding wire from the electrical panels and other structures must be on the same polarity. So we do that. Okay? Okay. Yeah, we'll go past these because we have our time actor. Thank you. Go forward. Okay, one of the first questions when I got into this technology was, how do you know it's working? You have this device on the top of your building. Let's say it's a school. Okay, we want to protect a school. We want to make sure the school is protected. We don't want the school to have a lightning strike because for anyone, even a university, it is frightening. A lightning strike is an immense explosion of power. So you want to know that this is working. There are two methodologies to make sure it's working. One is you use it in milliamps. And when you put the clamp meter around the earth lead, you will see a fluctuation in the reading in milliamps. So this is what we call periodic testing. But as we all know, and especially our friends at Doble, we know the condition monitoring is a significant part of looking after any asset today. So we have, which we're releasing actually in about 8 weeks' time, DynGuard. DynGuard is the first product in the world that actually tells you your lightning protection is functioning. Other technologies, you may have heard of early streamer emitter technology, all they do is they have a meter that checks how many times they've been struck by lightning. Ours tells you you're not being struck by lightning, and the electrical current drainage from here is being run. But we do more. It's predictive maintenance. So imagine you have a fleet of assets across Nigeria. If you have a DynGuard at every one of those assets, you can see that all of those assets on your laptop, on your control room, or mobile phone are working. We don't only measure electrical current drainage, our device measures the earth resistance. What happens in a substation, for example, over time, earthing cables corrode and they foul, and if you're not on top of it, you don't have any lightning protection, because you don't know that the cables are fouled. So when the strike comes, it's a disaster. Our DynGuard actually tells you what your earth resistance and the condition of your earthing is. So it's a quantum leap in lightning protection. Okay. So these are just pictures of an example of the DynGuard. It's not the actual DynGuard. The real DynGuard will be released properly in a launch very, very shortly. Okay, and other examples of it, ground resistance, leakage current, and one other major factor, we measure meteorological data. So we tell you what the weather is like near. We get patterns. So now what you have is a device that gives you reporting, it gives you alarms, it tells you whether or not your lightning protection is functioning or not, and it also gives you historical data. So you get historical data. You can look at your asset you're protecting, and you can see over years the protection that is provided. You have to overlay that with the actual aspect of where are lightning strikes. So let's say this table is being protected. There may be lightning strikes all around it. So we work with Meteorage, a company that actually tracks lightning. So you can see before installation of DDCE, after installation of DDCE. This is the biggest advancement in lightning protection in the world. Okay, we protect airports, and we are about to protect another one. So what you have is you have the DDC all across the airport. Okay, and you have a DynGuard associated with the DDCE plus DynFill below. And all of these different installations are sending data to a central platform, which you can see on the right-hand side here, which is also like this on a Google Earth map. And you can clearly see that everything is being protected. Now, if you can imagine somebody does some maintenance work, upsets the earthing on one of these points, let's just say the cargo terminal, what you would get is an alarm that says your cargo terminal is not protected. With traditional technology, you have no idea, because nothing is intelligent. So the world is, we protect all of NATO's radar in Europe. All of the NATO radar towers in Europe we protect. And communication towers. This is a Siemens Gamesa wind turbine that we protect. These are transmission towers. We protect many, many, many transmission towers from lightning strikes. Offshore oil platforms, high-risk oil and gas facilities. This is airport, control tower, radar. The important thing about this technology, it does not affect any signal from radar. There is no effect on any radar signal. So we protect super yachts. So it goes above the radar on super yachts, for example, and so on. We protect monuments. We have this fantastic monument here that you can see here. Ships and boats, I've already mentioned that, but we're protecting them. Here again, we have a very large radar. We have military as well. We protect military. These are all obviously classified, but for military we protect vehicles, we protect campsites, we protect all sorts of things for the military. We have remote ones as well. So something here in Nigeria which could be very remote, very easy for us to protect. And then we have, these are just concepts and case studies. We'll move on for time. But lots and lots of data. We show the before and after, no strikes before, no strikes after. And you can see maybe just about see the yellow pin, which is where the protection is. And you can see lightning strikes nowhere near the yellow pin. So it's not attracted. And again, more and more data. And as I said, I'm on IEC 62305. I represent the National Standards Authority of Ireland as well. And so we have all of these certifications which you need. More and more. And here's some logos from them. And all the different compliance standards we have for our products, our DDC, DINFL, and so on. So in conclusion, the world of lightning protection has moved significantly with Dinteco over the last 23 years. We are a high-quality company with the world's best lightning protection products. Because the answer is, why should we have a lightning strike come to us? If you think all you need to do is have a lightning strike come to you, it's old technology, unfortunately. It's not modern, it's not new, it's not advancing. And now with our condition monitor, we are changing completely the way assets are monitored. For example, right now, with our finalized units, Marcel, who is with me here on the booth, Marcel Arpon, he can look on his phone now and he can see lightning protection in Spain at our facility. So you could be here and across Nigeria, you can see you're protected. I want to thank you for listening to me. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to listen. So thank you very much. I'll keep it with my time. We're upstairs on a booth if anyone would like
Does anyone? Okay, sir. Another person? Okay. All right.
I want to know, or rather, would you like to share the shortfalls from development of this product, and then also how you measure effectiveness, and then whether your product requires a zone classification in the specification?
Okay, sir, I can't hear.
Am you ready?
Okay, Steve. Yeah, thank you so very much for the presentation. I like the passion you put into doing this. Yeah, I hope our sister company, Asset Metrics, gets that infection from you and transfer to the industry. We want to see Dinteco grow the brand in Nigeria together with Asset Metrics. We hope we achieve that. Yeah. So on behalf of Veteran Concept, I present this to you, Steve. Thank you so much.
All right, so I've equally been directed to share something with us. Media, let me have the code on the screen so that. All right, so it's important we hear from you visually. So any pictures you take or videos you do, you can do it to take the scan of this, then upload those pictures or videos through the QR so that we can have them collected and collated together. So at the back end, you'll be able to have your videos, your pictures of today's event. Is that okay? So please, whatever pictures, videos you make, we love to see you again. We want to have you in our database so that we can also reach out to you. In the meantime, I will have to confirm from my director to know the next possible technical we need to do. Just pardon me for a minute. So just give me a little sound on the background. I'll be right back, please.
You're such a rush, my baby, slow down, come find your love. I'm hoping you see me, come serve it up. Loving when you serve it up. That body belong on TV. Oh, this feeling I can't hide. You're feeling up my mind, and I just don't know why. I just don't know why.
I've been directed to tell us that we need to go for a lunch break. So please, my coordinator is at the moment distributing the meal tickets. It's going to be taking place at the 4th floor. I've also been directed to tell us that after the lunch break, we have to return here for the final speaking engagements. Thank you. Oh, so on a second thought, after the lunch break, we are going to be converging at the exhibition room for the live lab. Then after that, we come back here for the last speaking engagements. Thank you very much. The lunch break begins now. Thank you.
you know, of Lagos. Kike. rush, my baby, slow down. Come find your love. I'm hoping you see me. Come serve it up. Loving when you stir it up. That body belong on TV. Oh, this feeling I can't hide. You're feeling up my mind, and I just don't know why.